So we're gonna fish the one side where we caught fish on, which is a little further down. There's like a little point. It's about 6 feet of water. Kind of winging it today. Oh great, I don't have it. Nope, there's my first cast of the day, and probably the last one on this rod. I lost hella line because of that too. Bird's nest. Nothing much, you? I think cranking is the way to go. I think crankbait. Because I'm looking at everyone else. 2 guys got some on a crankbait. So I'm doing the Rapala OG or Ott's Garage, whatever, balsa wood. It seems like the only thing that's working. Because he's got 2. The guy across from me, he's got 1, and he was just cranking the whole time. So that's the thing. I'm not. It's not either, but
you gotta do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna throw a jerkbait right straight from the launch, but everyone seemed to go there and stuff, so I was just like, yeah. The first time I came here, I found out like right in front of this point at about 6 foot of water, I was getting them on the jerkbait, but yeah, I haven't gotten anything. Like right now, I'm on top of some weeds. They're shooting up 5 feet or about 6 feet. So from 8 feet, the weeds are coming up to 6 feet. It's not bad. Really? I did not know. I thought it was well, I actually haven't fished this place too much. I'm used to coming here in the summer and stuff, and yeah, all you do is a frog or Texas rig. That's a fatty. It's a nice one.
First one, baby. First bass. Number 2.
That's it. Can't hear. I only got 2. How about you?
I got my limit.
Oh, nice.
Throw that chatterbait you brought?
Yeah, it's right away 2 on the chatterbait, and after that it just died off.
Oh yeah.
I've been trying to stay on this little flat because it's just slow rolling it through it, but lately I can't get anything.
I don't think anybody's getting nothing now. I think the bike died.
Yeah, I kind of messed up because I went straight over there to the little point, and I threw the jerk bait. I got nothing. So
Wouldn't be bad if I could feel my hands.
that's what I'm feeling right now. I'm trying to warm up a bit. jackhammer's doing work. Last cast with this, and then I might switch to the jerk bait. I don't know. No way. Fucking knew he would hit the jerk bait too. Awesome. If you look at my screen right now, I see a bunch of weeds. Some of those weeds, I figured, you know what? Let me cast a jerk bait. Pop, pop, pop. Hit it. That's a fifth fish. That's fifth fish. Knew if I kept sticking to that jerk bait, I would get my 5th fish. 5 fish in the boat, I am happy. Might not be enough to win, but I don't care. As long as I got my limit, I'm happy. Let's see if he calls. I hope he's gonna call. He's definitely gonna call. Sweet. Throw the jerk bait. That's gonna go for me. Talk to you guys later about today's trip on the water. Welcome back to another video, folks. I know it's been a while since I posted on the channel. Please forgive me, I'm trying to catch up with all the content I have recorded. But in today's video, we fished the first event for one of the clubs we have joined, which is the Bent Rods Bass Club. Bent Rods consists of a laid-back tournament scene where it's not so serious and fun, enjoyable for local anglers. Whether you have a boat, canoe, or kayak, this gives you an opportunity to go out in different places and fish with other people, have a good time with other anglers, and put your skills to the test and have fun on the water. I really like the club, and the guys there are really cool. So this event we had was an ice out, as I said earlier, and it's not really a tournament. It's an opportunity for anglers to ensure their gear is ready to go for the actual tournament season, whether that be your boat, your trailer, your kayak, or making sure your electronics are good or your rod and reels are good. It lets you prep for the actual tournament, which I think is a great opportunity for anglers that are trying to get into the tournament scene, learn, build friendships with other anglers, and it's just a great experience overall. So that's what it is, and that's what it was. You know, it was kind of a tournament, but really not, just this event for us to get ready for this actual tournament season. Now that that's out the way, I want to break down to you guys my approach for fishing this body of water. How we approached this body of water was a bit different. We started off in a spot which kind of was a point, and I had luck in there in the past, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Ideally, where I wanted to go was across from the launch, but so many other anglers were there and it was kind of crowded, so I figured I'd just come back later on once everyone kind of spreads out from that area. And I had no luck at that point area I started off with, so I transitioned over to the spot that I originally had planned to fish from the start, and I struggled at first. I was trying to figure out using side imaging in my fish finder to understand like what am I looking for, and then I saw the drop off, but then I realized what I was looking for was this weed flat, which was pretty consistent. And what I would do is I would cast this bladed jig out on this weed flat, let it fall, hit the bottom. Once it hits the bottom, I like to give it a quick rip or reel it in quite aggressive just to get it off the bottom and slow roll it right above that weed flat. I wasn't seeing any fish in the fish finder nor with side imaging, but what I did see was weeds, consistent weeds. I later discovered that these fish were hiding in the weeds and they were just basically ambushing anything that was strolling on by. My first two bass came off this. It's a bladed swim jig. It's called the D-Blade. This is a Japanese bladed swim jig. And on the back of this, I was using a Z-Man Razor Shad in the Houdini color. The reason why I used this color specifically was because, in my eyes, I thought it resembled a golden shiner. I did a little bit of research about this body of water, and I read that online. The DNR says that this body of water did have some wild golden shiners. I figured if I could match the forage, I could probably get on something, and it got my first two bass right away, so I thought I was onto something. After I caught those two bass, the bite had died down, and then I switched over to a different lure, which was a bladed jig still, which is the Jackhammer. Use this in a golden shiner color, as well as pairing it up with a Z-Man Razor Shad on the back of it. And the reason why I threw the Razor Shad versus like a Kitech as a trailer, really think about it, and I saw it in a video, and that's where I changed it. You have the blade of the bladed jig going side to side, right? You got it going one direction. Well, in the back, then the Kitech is going to go in a different direction and not go along with the direction that this blade's going. Then they say it's more effective to use something like a Yamamoto Seiko or the Razor Shad because it has that thin tail that's going to allow it to go side to side, and that sometimes draws those bass into wanting to strike into the lure. And it's just a lot better action. So I gave that a shot, and it proved that it's effective. I think a Kitech would be effective as well, but I'm just sticking to the Razor Shad. It just saves me money, the durability is there. It produces as well. Now as for the rod I was throwing the bladed jig on, I'm using a Daiwa Zillion SVTW. This is an older model in a 6.3 to 1 gear ratio. On this reel I have 14-pound Sunline FC Sniper, and I'm using a Legit Design Wildside rod. This is a glass rod that's in a 6'8" medium. With it being a glass rod, it's obviously going to have the bend, but it's not like your typical glass rod that's kind of heavy and kind of like bulky. It's actually pretty light, and the tip is pretty stiff, but when you really need to set the hook and get that bend, this rod's going to give you the bend and give it needs, and you're fighting the fish at the end of the rod. You're not fighting the rod itself when you're setting the hook on these fish. So that's the setup I was using. I'll give you guys a close-up shot of what this rod and reel looks like, so you guys can get an idea of what you would want to look for if you ever want to throw some bladed jigs. Now, after a few hours have gone by since I caught my third fish when I switched to a different bladed jig, the reaction bite really kind of died off, and I saw everybody else around me was throwing some sort of crankbait, some reaction bait, and nobody was really catching, so I decided to switch it up to something that has worked for me in the past, and that was a jerkbait. The jerkbait I'm throwing is the Megabass Vision 110, and this is, I don't know the exact color, I'm going to have it on the screen so you guys can see this little golden color. The water did have a bit of a stain to it, and like I said, the whole theme I was throwing was some sort of gold to it. What helped me discover a pattern was I saw my fish finder on side imaging. To the right of me, about 15 feet out, there was a patch of weeds. I pitched my jerkbait out there. Jerk, 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 pause. Jerk, 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 pause. Jerk, jerk, bite. right above the weeds. And I was like, all right, that's a pattern. Once I figured out that pattern, I got 3 more fish off the 110. Now as for the setup I was throwing the Vision 110 on, it's this Daiwa SSSV 103SH Japanese reel, I believe, from Daiwa. You can find this on eBay. I'm not sure in this gear ratio, but I got this reel. On this reel I have 10-pound Tiger Abrazex, and the rod that I'm throwing this on is a legit design wild side rod. This is a 6'6" medium power rod, and this rod's tip is stiff but not too stiff, so when you are actually fighting the fish, it's going to give you the bend you want to really fight it, and it's really great for jerk baits. That's what I really like the setup for. And those 2 were the main baits that I used that event and helped me get 2nd place in the little tournament event kind of deal. Anyways folks, that's it for today's video. I'm trying to catch up with the other content that I have. This is a late post, please forgive me, but please know that YouTube hasn't really been a priority of mine, as I've been trying to focus on time with family, time with friends, school, and I'm currently working 2 jobs, so my time to get out in the water is very limited, and I chose it because I want to do these tournaments, and I'm enjoying and being able to do something I've been wanting to do, which is travel and fish these tournaments. Anyways guys, thanks you for watching. If you have not already, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on the next video.